session to this event. Well, as you may know, it's actually a pre-opening event. So tomorrow we will have the formal opening and the full day program and also a half day program on the day after tomorrow. So you're all very welcome to come again for the program tomorrow and the day afterwards. Now today, well, we have a kind of more informal discussion session. We are very happy to have the Hong Kong Critical Geography group to speak to us. It's a very special group, I think, right? Formed by Professor Tang. So we hope to learn more about the history and the development of this group. As you may know, this group has been very active recently over some preservation issues, both in the city and also in the new territories. So among the audience, we also have Professor Wendy Griswold from Northwestern University. We're very honored to have her here with us. And also Professor Miranda Soto from Hong Kong University, and Y.C. Chen from HKUST, and myself also from HKUST. So we'll have about 1 hour and something, right? Right. So for Professor Tang's group. And following it, we will have another mediocre session that's going to be free. So enjoy the time.
Okay, thank you very much, Annis, for giving us an opportunity to talk about something which we ourselves don't know too much. And it's an opportunity for us to really revise and go back to history and do all sorts of things. Given the time constraint, what I would do is to go over it pretty quickly, and then I will try to ask 3 groups of students to present 3 different cases. In that way, you might have a better idea of the activities that we usually do. Now, of course, when I said the Hong Kong Critical Geography group, the first question you might want to ask is who are we? Now, originally, when it started off, mostly, so to speak, our members, they are loosely members. We don't have all kinds of hierarchy. Loosely members were and are, still are, geography students of the HKBU. And as we proceed, we tend to enroll at least a lot of others. Whoever really interested in the things that we are doing are welcome to join. The next question you might want to ask is, how did we start all this thing? In a sense, we start off with a few distastefs. First of all, I was very much the state of the university education in Hong Kong. We all know that, I don't know what about Northwestern. Here we are going into the cul-de-sac without return. We are promoting all the research, and what is counted is the research output. And no one in the university is really interested in students. And all my colleagues are not really teaching. And I think that's one of the issues that I really want to start. I think for our task, our major task to teach students. So I think that we should give more opportunity to the students. And also, the state of belittling of space. More recently, we have seen in social sciences an emphasis on space. As I would argue tomorrow morning, that most of them are of kind of spatial metaphors. As a result, we can say that not too many people are really talking about how to understand the importance of space. And that's why we think that we might be able to contribute to do something. Finally, we were extremely critical of our own discipline. Our discipline, and I think like a lot of other disciplines in Hong Kong, have been doing things which we consider not appropriate. First of all, I would argue that a lot of ours are doing something like what I would call random conceptual appropriation. And for Hong Kong, more the case than, for example, U.S. Random conceptual indigenization. We take concepts from the West and then, really literally apply it to Hong Kong. Now, in particular, in our case, in the geography discipline, I think it is like a lot of other disciplines undergoing this at the same time. Is, for example, a lot of us, for example, switch to so-called China study. And as a result, very few are very interested in what is happening locally. And also, for the discipline itself, we tend to emphasize more because we are so much driven by the research output. We are very much interested in a lot of the so-called patterns instead of the theories and processes and etc. As a result of this displace, we thought that it's important for us to repoliticize the urban issues, and in particular, we have in mind that the importance of going into importance of social justice, and that has to be done via practice. So, how did we do? Now in a sense, I finally started something in 2003. We started with some kind of study group, in a discussion group, and then me and then a few students we were discussing things, and then we tried to enlarge it into a study group which involved a lot more students. First of all, we enrolled a lot of like MPhil students, and then the upper level, the undergraduate, and then we extended to even more junior ones. And then in 2004, we found that it might be better if we register as some kind of non-profit social organization. Thereby, we can, so to speak, stand on our feet and then defend what we do. So since then, we start to really start to involve in communities in one way or the other. How do we see ourselves? What is our role? Now, I think nowadays talking about all this creativity, and then talk about incubator. I see ourselves as an incubator. What is my major task? I always tell my students, my task is to confuse you. And so we are the center of confusion. What we are trying to do is to for those who, so to speak, come in because of the Hong Kong education, basically a lot of them, so to speak, generalize it, simplify it as an uninformed and then status quo understanding. And then, so to speak, go through our process. We hope that most of them would be one way or the other informed and then everything practice. So, how do we confuse students? Now, first of all, we have a lot of the regular reading groups. We study a lot of the so-called more critical literature on, for example, on the stage, on power, on colonialism, on development, on gender, all sorts of things, which we think would be allow us to open our eyesight. And so another thing is we try to intervene with other interact with other students as well. So one time we have kind of the teleconferencing with another group of students, more in particular is with people from Southern California, with basically Italian parties students. We organize a lot of so-called factual inspiration field trips. We have a lot. For example, I think one Christmas night we went to the Hong Kong Arts Center, and then, so to speak, we basically slept there for a whole night, and then to see how homeless people really use their space in the Hong Kong Arts Center. Another one is we went to we will study about the cage home people. And then in other cases, we went to, for example, new territory. This is Sa Kok Chun, and this is Northeast New Territories. And in other cases, we go into the city. For example, this would be Chun Wan, and this is would be Kwun Tong. Sometimes we try to combine the two together in such a way that would, so to speak, raise the students' understanding. For example, this particular year, we started with one field trip. We went to Shan Shui Po, and then we in particular chose some of the Nepalese families, and then asked the Nepalese families to take us through their community, so that we really understand what their daily lives are. And then afterwards, then we will start to go back to the university and then to do readings. Some of the readings we mentioned, for example, touch on state, touch on power, touch on development, touch on gender. And then after that, we will go back to Shan Shui Po again, and hopefully by that time, the students will be able to tell me what they can read much better about Shan Shui Po. So this is something that we try to combine the two together. At the same time, we really participate in a lot of forums and community meetings. I suppose Agnes, who was not here, this one, organized by the CPU, Central Policy Unit, and Hong Kong Youth, talking about building community capacity. The whole community was full of SHIT. So then we participate in others as well. And though I think by this way, the students would raise the, the understanding and then the attitude and everything. In a sense, that's all about the students. And then how do we confuse the community? One thing is that we try to do, so to speak, a lot of ground understandings. In that way, that we can provide the communities a better understanding. For example, we can say that we start at Kowloon Tong, we go all this way, and these are some of the places that we have done studies or participate in it. For example, Kwun Tong, Wan Chai, Shan Shui Po, Chun Wan, Tin Shui Wai, and then the latest one we were talking about by Chok Gai Gai, and then Jiang Xiao later in the northeast. At the same time, we also involved in other things that we are involved in the community. For example, we did consultancy study for the Wan Chai District Council, talking about the future of Wan Chai, and then also to raise the understanding of the community. We wrote articles in the newspapers as well. And then in other cases, we talk to other people as well. So these are all the things that we try to raise to what I call it confuse not only students but the community. This is all I would say. Now what I would like to do is then to invite 3 groups of students, either former or still existing, for them to talk about different projects which you might be able to tell you more about the group. Now these projects would involve people of different degrees of participation in a community. And some might be involved in the early stage of the development, some might be involved in the latter part of the stage, and some might involve a lot more studies than others. And so, and also depending on the particular student who will bring along their own so-called cultural baggages and then get into the community and then see whether they could do for the community. So we have 3 here. One is Shan Shui Po, the second one is Northwest New Territories, and then the third one will be Chun Wan. So I think we will start with Chun Wan first. Okay? So Chun Wan will be presented by Tammy. Okay, so I will give the floor to Tammy.